Hi you guys! Today I'm going to repot some plants with you guys. It's the plants that I previously purchased and unboxed here with you guys from Canopy Plant Co. I'm going to repot this one here. This is the Alocasia Adora Batik. Look at all the new leaves she's given me. She has lost only one leaf since I've had her, and I'm really excited. She's a little dry, so she will definitely need a drink after the repot. I also have the Anthurium crystallinum. She only yellowed one leaf and she's been holding strong to the 3 leaves. And I'm not sure if she has a leaf on her way yet or not. Probably not, but she's been in this little tiny cup of moss for a while, so she definitely needs a repot. I'm excited to repot her, you guys. I also have the Hoya parviflora splash. The last one is the Hoya elliptica. Beautiful. I want to change her trellis. She's in cocoa chips, so I want to get her out of the cocoa chips. She feels like she's well hydrated, but I do want to get her out of the cocoa chips into my mix. And my mix is going to be the same for all of these plants. It's this one here, and I think I've shared it with you guys in the past. It's just perlite, cocoa core. I added cocoa chips to this one and worm castings. I do have some fertilizer beads in there this time as well. Slow release osmocote beads I put in there. The chunky perlite. I did not have any charcoal to add in here, but I think that these plants will be fine without the charcoal. I do want to add some myco to the roots when I repot them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to angle you guys downwards and try to talk while I'm doing the repot. I forgot to say the myco that I'm going to use is this one here. This is a new myco that I'm trying out. It's just a smaller bag that my husband picked up on Amazon, I believe. I will leave this link down below. So far, it's been pretty good. I haven't used it for a really long time, but I went out of my other myco. I'm going to link that down below for you guys, my previous myco, because that one, I used a huge bag and I've used it for over a year. I used the entire bag and all of my plants did well that I used that on. Let's go ahead and get started on this repot. Okay, you guys, so I have these nursery pots that I have set aside for these plants. I'm probably going to put some chunky perlite on the bottom to make sure that I don't lose any of the soil. I was going to use these cups that I put holes into. They're just your yogurt cup. Picked up a pack of those off of Amazon. I think that this size is reasonable for all of the plants. Maybe we'll see what the roots look like, but I have those aside just in case I need them. Let's go ahead and start with the Anthurium crystallinum. Again, I picked this up on Canopy Plant Co. This is not sponsored or anything like that. I just really like ordering from them. I haven't had anything bad happen to any of the plants that I order from them. I just wanted to do this on here with you guys. Some late night plant chores. Not gonna wear any gloves today, just doing it like this, even though you could find things in here, but looks like she's just in moss. I'm going to try to remove all of this moss before I pot her up. I think I might actually do the smaller cup because that other cup might be too big for her roots, and I don't want her to rot on me. Since I'm newer with anthuriums, I'm still getting used to the watering schedule for them and stuff like that, and so I don't want her to have too much substrate. That looks like it was moss on top, but straight peat or cocoa core, because this is not coming off like moss. I have to say it's retaining a lot of water as well, and I was only watering her when she was completely drying out, just to make sure that I didn't overwater her. Kind of getting this stuff everywhere. That's okay, trying to be gentle on the roots. I probably could have just potted her up in this, but I wanted to make sure that she had airy substrate, because I know that anthuriums like a chunky substrate and very airy so that they don't rot. Since I'm upsizing her, I just want to make sure I have her in my mix. I will probably pause this after I get this all off, rinse her out, then we'll come back and pot her up. I want to make sure I get all of this off her roots. I hope you guys are having a great weekend or had a great weekend. This is Sunday night. It's around 10 o'clock at night, maybe a little after 10. I just wanted to repot these plants with you guys and get this done. Checked off my list. There are so many things that I'm working on with my Palmstreet shop and Facebook Market shop, as well as trying to keep up with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I've been pretty busy. So I've been getting into anthuriums. I think they're beautiful plants. I think that our home environment can be good for anthuriums. I've researched them for probably a year now, watched many videos on them, looked up many different things about anthuriums. You know, I just thought that I would dabble into them. And so far, so good. All right, we got everything off. Only a couple tiny roots fell off. Not too many. I'm not highly concerned. I'm gonna go rinse these off and I'll be right back. Okay, so her roots are all rinsed off and they look really good. I don't see any rot at all on any of these roots. We're gonna go ahead and proceed to pot her up. I think that this cup might be good for her for now, but not too long. Maybe this up pot will actually be good for her. We're just gonna go ahead and bite the bullet and pot her up in here, but I do want to add some chunky perlite in there before I add the substrate. What did you guys end up doing this weekend? I had a little get together with a friend of mine, which was really nice. Our kids got to play together, our boys. It was nice to see her and catch up. I also did a shop with me for you guys. You will have seen that already before this video. I didn't find anything. I was hoping to find a Hoyas and the anthuriums that Rachel from Lots of Pots found in her area. Doing a little layer there and going to sprinkle some of this mica on the roots. I'm gonna open this up. I hope you guys like this angle of repot and you get to see everything. I like top-down angles because I really like to look at the substrate and the plants and the roots. Trying to keep her centered as much as possible. Hopefully she does well in this mix. She hasn't given me a new leaf since her arrival, so I'm hoping that this will promote some growth in her. She has acclimated to my environment. I thought it was a perfect time to repot. I think I've had these plants for maybe about a month now. And I hope to see new roots from her soon. Fingers crossed she does well in my mix. We are all done with her. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next plant, which is gonna be the Alocasia odora batique. I'm just gonna put her aside and we're gonna work on this one. Actually, I already wiped off the plant tag on the anthurium. We're gonna go ahead and put that in there. Now we're going to use this deeper saucer here to get rid of her substrate. I wonder if she has any corms. That would be exciting, wouldn't it, you guys? You can tell her soil is very, very dry. So let's go ahead and get rid of the soil. I am going to use a tool. As you can see, this is falling out easy. It looks like she's in a little bit of a plug. I'm not sure if it's a sponge plug or a mesh plug. It looks like one of those soil plugs that is just like compacted soil. So we're gonna just remove that. We don't want compacted soil for our plants indoors. I can see that there's some fertilizer beads in here as well. But these top roots, she has very fine roots in here. I don't know if maybe I was just letting her dry out too long. But again, I'm always scared in watering my plants when they come in a different substrate than what I use. I tend to wait till they're completely dry before I water them again. So just trying to be as gentle as possible. I will probably give her a rinse as well I do not see any corms. Does this plant produce a lot of corms or not? You guys, let me know down below in the comments if you know if this plant produces corms like most of the other alocasias do. I'm just looking through the soil as I'm doing this to make sure I'm not missing any corms. As soon as I get some corms from this one, I'm going to share it with you guys. I'll grow her out to a decent size and share on Palmstreet or on Facebook Market. I try to post my plants on both places so that I can sell locally as well as ship. I like to offer the plants to people locally as well as on Palmstreet. If I see that a plant is not selling locally, then I'll most likely post it on Palmstreet. I hope you guys have been following me on my Facebook page, Latina Plants on Facebook. I try to post all the plants that I upload to my Facebook Market there so that you know what I'm posting available. Or you can follow my Facebook Market so you can see every time I post a new plant. In case you're looking for anything that I am getting or anything that I've been growing, make sure to follow me on Facebook Market. Problem is that with Facebook Market, it's not under Latina Plants, but I do have my link down below so you can go follow me on Facebook Market. It's actually from my personal account, like my name. I'm trying to start an online shop. Anything that I make, I've been investing into the business so that I can open my own online shop. I'm also working on a second plant room that I'm going to share with you guys. There are a few things that I still want to finish in that plant room before I share it. So it looks like she was getting dry rot. So I'm going to cut some of these off. I'm not sure that the bigger pot will be good for her just because she has such little roots. I think what I'll do is I'll pot her in here, but I won't pot her too high up. That way she's not sitting in too much soil. While we're here, I'm just going to trim off any dry roots that I see. And these have already been sanitized. Yeah, I think I was waiting too long for her to dry. This is just dry rot, so I'm not too concerned because she has a lot of healthy roots still. It's not like regular root rot. Okay, I think she's good, so I'm gonna give her a good rinse and then we'll be back to pot her up. So this is what her roots are looking like. She looks pretty good. I rinsed her out as much as I could. Don't want to cause any damage. The reason that I rinse them out is so I can take a good look at the roots and see anywhere where there's broken roots or rotting roots, dry roots. But these roots look good. So we're gonna go ahead and use this. Again, I'm gonna do perlite on the bottom, chunky perlite. And we're going to do a small layer. We're going to use some more mica on the roots, just a pinch. And spread her roots a little bit here. Now we're going to backfill. I picked this alocasia because I think she's so beautiful. I love the variegation. It's kind of like the Marble Queen variegation on an alocasia. That's the best way I can describe it. And from the research that I've done about her, she's a pretty easy to care for alocasia. I believe she can get pretty big as well. She's not like your jewel alocasias. Once I see that she fills this pot up with roots, I will go ahead and up pot her. I will pull her out of the pot, add some substrate on the bottom, and then add her back in because I don't know if you guys know, but alocasias do like syngoniums and their roots go straight towards the bottom looking for water. I don't know if you noticed, but when I pulled her out of the pot that she was in, all her roots were towards the bottom of the pot. Once she gets like that, then I will give her some more substrate to grow in. I'm just gonna add a little bit more to stabilize her. And fingers crossed that she enjoys this repot and does well. There she is, you guys. She is all done. I think she has some gaps in there I want to fill. I will keep you updated on these plants and let you know how they do after the repot. Maybe in a month or so I can do an update on them. I do also want to do an update on the plants that I got from BWH. back in October of last year. If you guys have been watching me and seen my haul video from BWH last October, I think it was. Might have been October or November when I posted, not sure. If you want to see an update on that video of those plants that I have repotted them, I will do an update. Let me know down below in the comments if you'd like to see that. I can show you how they're doing and like what substrate I put them in. She is all done. Look at those beautiful leaves. These actually came in a lot smaller than the original leaves, which leads me to believe that I'm not giving her enough light. We're going to change that. Since we've up-potted her, we're going to put her where she can get some more light and maybe bigger leaves. Either way, she's beautiful. Big or small leaves. She is beautiful. I love her. Now we're going to work on our next plant. That's going to be the Hoya parviflora. First, let's put the tag in the boutique. This one I'm a little bit scared. Look, my hair in there. How did my hair get in there? If that's my hair, I don't know. This is the Hoya parviflora Splash. When I first got her, she didn't have too many roots in here. I have a feeling that this pot is going to be too deep for her. I might just pot her right into here. Let's take her out and check her roots. Yeah, look at all this substrate, you guys. It is super airy substrate. Doesn't look like it would hold on to too much moisture. This is her root ball. Let's go ahead and remove all the substrate and see what we're working with. We know that Hoya roots are super fine. I just water my plants a lot and I don't want to rot them out. Making sure that she has enough roots and that her roots are well before I pot her up is a good idea. Her roots look okay. They're not extensive. Like, she doesn't have a whole lot of roots. I think that that mix was not good enough for her. I think that she may have been going through some rot. Because I'm seeing very hairy, fine roots, you guys. I don't know if I want to put her in fluval and perlite or if I want to put her in my mix. Let's keep removing the substrate and checking her out. It's really not a big plant for that pot that she was in. I'm not liking how dry these roots are feeling. They're coming off pretty easy. What would you guys do? I wish you could answer me. I wish I knew what you guys were saying right now. What would you guys do with this Hoya parviflora? Because I don't think that her roots are enough to go into substrate. I don't think that it was like wet rot. I think it was like dry rot. Again, I just think she was in way too much soil, too much substrate, and I wasn't watering her frequent enough because I was bottom watering her. Luckily, her leaves are nice and firm, which tells me she wasn't really suffering. But I think this plant might need more frequent watering than what I was doing. Kind of like the Hoya Bella. Hoya Bella likes frequent watering, but not to sit in soaking wet soil for too long. I don't think that she was suffering. I am going to have to cut some of these finer roots, the ones that are like hair strands. I don't know if I want to pot her back into substrate or into fluval. I think that she would be fine in my substrate because it's nice and airy. This mix looks super chunky. I don't know, maybe it just wasn't retaining enough water. I mean, it was. I feel like it would get heavy with water. Maybe, I don't know, she dried out for too long. What I think I want to do with this is I'm going to cut some of these off, do a little root pruning here. Doesn't look like she needs a whole lot of root pruning. I think I might soak her in some hydrogen peroxide just to make sure there isn't any rotting bacteria left behind. Her stems are nice and firm, and so are her leaves. I'm not that concerned. Okay, I'm going to rinse this cup out, put some hydrogen peroxide in there and water, and I'll be right back. Put her in here and we'll work on the elliptica while she soaks for a little bit. So here is the cup of water and hydrogen peroxide. I'm just going to put these in there while we pot up the next Hoya. Okay, now we're going to work on the Hoya elliptica. Take your tag off. I do not like bamboo trellises. I won't throw this out. I will reuse it for a plant on my shop. I know I'm going to lose so many roots this way, but I don't like growing in just cocoa chips. She is dry, except for like the center of her, still a little wet. I have a lot of plants, so to grow in pure cocoa chips is not good for me because then my plants go through dry rot. It's hard for me to know and keep up with when I watered last and to know if the substrate has enough moisture for the plant. I'm going to probably lose a lot of roots here. Probably no easy way of doing this than what I'm doing now. Trying to be gentle, but you know, these roots grow into these cocoa chips. It's inevitable that I'm going to pull off roots. I'm not too worried about it because she looks pretty healthy and I think that she will just grow some new roots. Looks like there's a total of 4 stems in here, separate plants. I'm gonna just pot them all together because I want a nice full pot of this. Trying to be as gentle as I can with these roots. This piece is not gonna be left with a whole lot of roots because it's just stuck in the cocoa chips. There's a lot of fine roots in here. We're gonna have to do some root trimming on this one as well. Let's see this one. If you hear some noise, it's my bunnies. I'm more active at night than during the day. Do you guys have this plant in your collection? If you do, leave me down below in the comments how she's been for you. What kind of substrate do you have her in? Is she easy? Is she more difficult? Has she bloomed for you? This is just a plant that I don't hear too much of on YouTube. I think at one point she was popular, probably before I got into Hoyas. Definitely some root trimming going to happen here. You guys enjoy these repots? Let me know down below in the comments. I enjoy making them. I find them really relaxing. Kids are going to be starting school in about a month and I'll be able to do more filming, be more active on the channel. Please stay tuned. I also want to say that I appreciate all the support that I have been getting because I know you guys have been watching and supporting me. When I came back to YouTube, I was demonetized already. Like my video stopped being monetized because I have been out of YouTube for so long. It's been almost a year now since I've been back. I'm not monetized yet. I'm getting there. It feels like slowly, but I'm getting there. Anything you guys can do to help get me some more views, share, and things like that, I would appreciate it, you guys. I work hard on the channel as well as on my shop. This area has quite a bit of fine roots. I'm just cutting off all of the roots that don't look good. Hopefully she can recover from this and bounce back. The leaves look good and the stems are good. We should be able to bounce back relatively fast. I'm having to have to cut a lot more roots than I wanted to, but it's a must. She's going to lose all these roots anyways. A little root pruning is good, especially if the roots are no good. And believe me, you guys, I do not enjoy pruning these like this. These roots are so dry, you guys. This is why I can't do the cocoa chip just by themselves. I can't. Do I like cocoa chips to add airiness to the substrate? Yes. But do I like cocoa chips just by themselves as substrate? Nope. I do not recommend it. Looks like we gotta soak these two. I'm gonna take out the other ones. I think they've been soaking long enough. We're gonna soak these in that same water and we'll be just fine. We'll let those soak for a few minutes while we pot up this Argiflora. Since she doesn't have a whole lot of roots, we had to prune her roots and everything, I'm going to put her in this little cup. I'm going to risk it and put her in my mix. First, we're going to add a layer of perlite. And a small layer of soil, or my mix. And we're going to pot these up in here. And hopefully he does well with this repot. Forgot to use this. I almost forgot Myco. I'm gonna sprinkle some Myco on the roots. Probably more than enough. In this yogurt cup, I can keep an eye on her roots because it's clear. I can see if the roots are growing around the edge. I'm trying to make sure there's no air gaps. Add a little bit more of my mix. Oops. Making a mess, you guys. That's what late night repots are about, making messes. Again, I'll keep you guys updated. Let you know how she's doing. Fingers crossed that she does well. It's a beautiful plant. Look at her beautiful leaves, you guys. That is her, all potted up. Let's go ahead and move on to the elliptica. The elliptica, I'm not gonna let her sit too long. Actually, I'm gonna give her a couple minutes. When I come back, we'll repot her. Okay, you guys, I've cleaned up the area. The Hoya elliptica sat for a good amount of time in this hydrogen peroxide water, and I'm ready to pot her up. I decided that I'm going to use a small cup as well for her because I don't feel that she has a whole lot of roots. So we're going to fill the bottom with perlite again. And a nice little layer of perlite. Let's pull her out. Hopefully she does okay with this repot. I'm going to grab some Myco. I want the two longer stems on the outer part. Actually, there's three nice long stems. Maybe this one in the front. Just have to make sure that these are going to be potted well in here. Okay, now let's start backfilling. Hopefully she likes this transfer of substrate. I'm spilling soil again. It's not soil, but you know, spilling my substrate all over the place. I think I'm also going to put a trellis on her since she was on that bamboo trellis. I'm going to grab one of my 3D printed trellises and put her on there. While we're at it, I'm going to make sure I'm covering all of the roots here. Alright, I'm going to grab the trellis and I'll be right back. I have this longer 3D printed trellis I'm going to put her on. I think she'll do good on this one for now. And I'm going to use the orchid clips that she had on her. I'm just going to clip her on here. If you guys are interested in these 3D printed trellises, my husband 3D prints them for me. I was thinking of putting them on my shop as well. Let me know if you're interested in them. I have sent Mona some 3D printed trellises. She enjoyed them. Hopefully I can get these leaves to look better than they do, because some of these look damaged. I don't know if that was from the substrate drying out too much. I want to add a little bit more substrate. I'm also working on, me and my husband are working on 3D printing some pots that we can use for self-watering. If you guys are interested in those as well, I will probably post them on my Facebook market as well as Palmstreet. We have a variety of different colors that we can print. We have a marble looking one, we have white, we have a dark green, we even have some bright colors like blue. I'm probably going to do a video on them soon to share them with you guys, so keep an eye out for that. Alright, I'm going to clean this mess up and then come back and we'll water the plants. and take a closer look at them. I do want to wipe these leaves. Maybe we'll do that too. Here are all 4 plants. I'm going to go just water them in real quick. Then we'll take a look at them. I hope you guys enjoyed this repot with me. I enjoyed doing it. I'm just watering with some Super Thrive water and just making sure that all of the substrate is moist. These plants all seem to have been very thirsty, and we're going to give them a nice good drink with some Super Thrive to help them with the shock. And I already wiped down the leaves for the elliptica. I just decided to go ahead and do that off camera. You guys don't need to watch me wipe down the leaves, do you? I just use my mix that I normally use, which is Dr. Bronner's Peppermint Castile Soap. Fungus not flying around here. And alcohol and just some water. Okay, so I'm going to let them strain and then we will take a look at them. The plants are all potted up. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this repot. Now let's take a look at the plants and what pots I decided to put them in. Starting with the Alocasia Boutique. I put her in this white pot and thought she was really cute in here. I'm excited to watch her grow. This pot I picked up from, let me see, from Ross. It still has the tag. My eyes are a little red because it's late. It's like midnight already. It was $3.99 at Ross. Ross has some good pots. I believe this one was from Big Lots. Don't know how much it was because I don't have a tag on it. But I put the Anthurium in here. The Anthurium crystallinum. Hopefully she gives me a new leaf and does well in this pot. She looks a little limp, but I think she'll be okay. Isn't this pretty, you guys? It's like kind of like sandpaper down at the bottom. Really cute. And this pot I got from Target's Dollar Spot. I'm not sure how much I paid for it, but it was for like St. Patrick's Day. It just says pinch me. I put the elliptica in there. Now her little cup is a little too shallow for in here, so I just put a couple cups to raise her up. I did clean her leaves. She looks beautiful. I just hope that these damages go away and I hope she's okay with this substrate. She does look like she has new leaves coming in, new vines and shoots. Fingers crossed that she does well in here. I love the trellis that I put on her, the 3D printed trellis. The last one, the Hoya parviflora, is in this cute little face pot. I thought this looked like hair. I thought she would look cute in here. And this face pot came from Lowe's. They have a face one and a mustache one. So she's kind of wobbly in there because the cup is a lot smaller. But once I upsize her into this size pot, she will be okay in there. Fingers crossed she does well in this substrate as well. And she grows some more roots. If you guys have these 2 Hoyas, let me know down below how they grow for you, what kind of substrate you use. Are they fast growers, slow growers? Do they grow a lot of roots or not too many roots? Let me know down below in the comments. If you have any tips or tricks for any of these plants, as well as anthuriums. I am growing all of my anthuriums in ambient condition. I know they're not going to be perfect. These 2 leaves seem to be okay. The one that are here right now don't have any browning or crispiness yet. The Boutique, let me know what you think about this plant as well. If you have it, how's it been growing for you? Okay, you guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Click on that bell to get notified every time I upload a video. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and now Palmstreet, you guys. Thank you so much. Bye!